things have calmed down back here, finally. I deciphered that symbol and it confirms what you guys just heard. The weapon the Brotherhood found is the Spear of Destiny. Holy shit! Literally. We know bullets don't work on Jackie. I mean, he just took one to the face, and he actually seems fine. I mean, apart from his face being gone and everything. It's growing back nicely, though. But the Spear of Destiny is the actual spear that stabbed Christ himself. You know, when he was up there on the cross. Anyway, so the Knights Templar protected it, and they kept it hidden for centuries. However, no record of it exists for the past 200 years. Some say it was recovered by Hitler. Others say it was lost at sea. If the Brotherhood found it, Jackie is in real trouble. Like, gonna die and stay dead, and the streets will run red with the blood of the pure kind of trouble. Head down to the Newswatch station and see what you can find there. I gotta make sure Jackie's face gets back on his head right. So, Dolfo will be taking your calls for a bit.
The Brotherhood has a media outlet now? You have to be kidding me.
The media is run by an evil cult. It's funny because it's true. We're dipping into this upgrade tree for the first time. Gotta buy a useless co-op skill first. But then we get to permanently increase the damage output of the Arm of the Knight. And we'll eventually buy the upgrade that makes it regenerate the gun channeling skill more quickly when it gets any kills or destroys any hearts. This is pretty much necessary for this level. If we don't have it by this point, we are in a lot of trouble. I played through this level once, got just another gun channeling upgrade, and I died at every checkpoint of this level multiple times. It was virtually impossible to complete.
Well, well, well. Look who's wandered in from the woods. Gentle lambs being led to the slaughter.
You will tell us where your Brotherhood partners are hiding, or you will die.
Oh, look at that. A new mystery villain. Can only hope that he's a worthy successor to Cedro Valdez. If you haven't gathered by my shitty tone, I do not like this level. I think it's fucking awful. At this point, they can throw all the enemies in the entire game at us, and they're gonna pile on the worst ones, just en masse. If we don't have the damage output to keep up with it, they'll just murder us over and over again, through no real fault of our own.
Rejoice, brothers. The wicked have been punished for too long. It is time for the wicked to have their day.
It's a big man who hides and taunts.
If we didn't have that damage upgrade for the Arm of the Knight at this point, it would do pretty much nothing against the upgraded enemies we're going to be fighting. The upgrade is significant, though. It'll now be keeping pace with the sort of damage it used to be doing. Most of the other playable characters in Vendettas mode, their special weapons have utility besides damage output, but the Arm of the Knight is just pure DPS. So once it stops doing damage, it ceases to be a weapon at all. And we do kind of rely on it. Might seem kind of ridiculous to be complaining this much already, especially because we've only seen the regular basic grunts so far. This parking garage area is much, much more forgiving than the rest of the level's going to be. We're about a room or two away from shit really hitting the fan. For now, it's just important to keep our health and ammo topped off as best as we can, in preparation.
For too long, the darkness has been held in its host. The darkness belongs to us, to the wicked, to those who embrace the dark.
Why don't you come out and let's see who talks then?
A big recurring theme of this level is lights that you cannot destroy. There's a bunch of them in this room, so we won't be able to set foot in these areas, ever, without losing all of our powers. Which seems fine, right? There's no enemies here. Well, here's the asshole who's been taunting us. He looks mad.
The host shall fall. He shall relinquish his hold on the darkness, and the wicked shall rise.
You're going to die tonight, Brotherhood scum.
Lay down your weapons. Fight with those that understand you. Those who will embrace your darkness. Lay down your weapons, or die!
Surrender or die. The Brotherhood are no match for us.
We're gonna put that little theory to the test.
Mutilate!
Here are the enemies. They start off with guys who can teleport. The last enemy in the entire game. They also have shitloads of armor. They're extremely hard to kill. And if you don't have the upgraded sawn-off shotgun at this point, you can just dump fully charged shots into them all day long. They'll keep teleporting away. It's really unfortunate because the whole, good thing about this game is that it's really satisfying to hit people with the shotguns and shit. So, taking that away, big mistake. These guys, after you kill the shotgunners, they can just teleport behind you, like that,
Pain is an illusion.
and they can one-shot you before you even know they're there. I once got trapped in a canned animation destroying a heart. The instant the animation ended, two of those teleporting guys hit me with their sticks, did half my health bar all at once, and killed me outright. I made that look pretty easy. It is not.
I am vengeance, and you are just shit.
This part's a pretty cool reward. Although, the elevator that we kill everybody in is not the correct elevator for progress. Weird choice.
Brothers, take heed. It seems our lambs have brought themselves to slaughter. Barricade the lobby. Ensure that none survive. The helicopter is on its way, sir. It should be just a few more minutes. What is this?
So I guess we're trying to catch up to this Graves fella before he flies away in a helicopter. He's not going to make it easy. So we've got every possible type of enemy in the game. They don't use too many spotlight guys, at least. They just use unbreakable lights, which are kind of worse than spotlight guys.
The studio on that floor is closed for renovations. There should be a hallway somewhere near that you can take to get around it. What? No, my guy told me. You know, my aunt's cousin Richie. The guy with the big schnozzle. Yeah, looks like I hit in the face with a frying pan, that guy. He's worked there for years. He tells me everything. What do you want? He's a degenerate gambler, the guy. He owes me like $500 for 10 years, this guy. I can't duck him. What do you want me to do? Anyway, there should be a hallway near there you can take to get around it.
Wasn't Dolfo supposed to be taking our calls? Why did we get a minute-long monologue from Vinny? That's the last of the interrupting walkie-talkie calls for a while. Last thing I need to talk about is shield guys. When you're Jackie, you use the demon arms on them. We don't have demon arms, so we have to use our special darkness guns on them. And Shoshana's happens to be pretty much the worst of the weapons for dealing with the shield guys. The shields are bulletproof. Nothing will destroy them, except for a fully charged Arm of the Night shot. And until you figure that out, this section is unbeatable. You just go down here, you start shooting everybody, they shoot back from behind the shield, and you eventually die. Doesn't make sense that the charge shot breaks the shield, but it had to be done. This roped off area looks pretty interesting, but we can't go there. As terrible as this level is, the B-side version that we'll be playing with a different character is actually really good. So, a little reward if we make it through this. Here's the helicopter. And that light that it shined into the hallway is why the helicopter is such a problem. But it's not a problem right now. After we clear out this hallway, kill the guy hiding behind the soda machine, one last guy runs in. So we can arm up and move on to the next area.
You are too late, little lambs. The Spear of Destiny is in our hands now. It will destroy the host, and the darkness will be ours at last.
Weird that this apparently major threat just never comes up in the main game. I'm taking a circuitous path here to get our relic. It's actually adorable. I really like this one.
People will fight.
Probably really gross if you open it up, but cute enough on the outside. Get some ammo. And get in a bunch more battles. With more shield guys, more teleport guys. They bulletproof the fish tank, but none of the other bits of glass, so this is a pretty open area. It's important to prioritize the enemies that can one-shot you, and then just kill everybody. Also very difficult, but our upgraded Arm of the Knight makes it manageable. So I've been waiting for this free moment to talk about the Spear of Destiny. As stated, it's the spear that stabbed Jesus on the cross. Comes up in a lot of works of biblical fiction and shit. I remember first seeing it in the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie. I think that's an adaptation of a better comic book series, but that's how I first knew it. That thing that Johnny said in the opening about it being recovered by Hitler is a reference to the comics. There's an issue that opens on Hitler after the Battle of the Bulge. His army's in ruins and the war's almost over. But the Nazis have somehow discovered the Spear of Destiny. Hitler's about to use it to turn the tides back in his favor. Before he can do that, though, a person called the Magdalena machine guns a bunch of Nazis and makes her way into Hitler's bunker.
The host will die, and darkness shall spread throughout the Brotherhood. The age of man is over, gentle lambs. Rejoice, and bow to your new masters.
The Magdalena is a literal descendant of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. She has the power to just wave her hand in front of a guy's face and play that person's entire lifetime of sins before their eyes. She uses this power on Hitler, and that is why he kills himself. And that's pretty much the best few pages of Darkness comics that you could possibly read. Because after that, it cuts to the modern day. The current Magdalena, descendant of the one whose story we just saw, is being deployed to kill the Darkness using the Spear of Destiny. Now the guy who sends her on this mission is called Cardinal Innocent, and he's anything but innocent. He's doing this knowing that her training is incomplete. She can't do the show a guy his lifetime of sins move, nor can she really fight properly, nor does she know how to wield the Spear of Destiny. He's sending her to fail and die. And we never really know what his deal is. He finds a fall guy to take the blame for the whole incident, but then he just never shows up again, so it doesn't get explained.
You are too late. Nothing can stop us now.
I guess we're too late. This is the part of the level that is truly unforgivably awful. We're on the helipad here, and the helicopter has a searchlight. It'll keep it on us. Occasionally we can find spots of shadow in the various stuff scattered around, but not very often. It's entirely possible to just spend this entire segment in the light with no way to escape. In fact, that's what happened the first time I played this as Jimmy Wilson. Jimmy's innate ability is he can take more damage than anyone else. And that meant I was able to just run around in the light, completely blind. Occasionally I would run close enough to someone who was shooting at me to hit them once and then execute them. And that would give me enough health to repeat the process. But I was playing the game completely blind for like 15 minutes because I couldn't see anything. It was the worst. This is only slightly better because the helicopter has not chosen to take out the light underneath the helipad until this moment. And what is supposed to happen is the gates at the back of this area are supposed to open up. Sometimes they do that immediately. Sometimes they just never do that. And you're just totally fucked. There they go. For some reason this time they opened up pretty quickly. But I've had to take like at least 5 minutes. Completely in the light. Unable to use any darkness abilities. And unable to see. So that is why I hate this level. Now we have to spend the entire rest of the level underneath the helipad. Because otherwise the helicopter will shine lights on us. And indeed, this is the entire rest of the level. So anyway, we were talking about the Magdalena on her suicide mission. She does find Jackie. She fights him at night, which is a bad idea. And as soon as she draws the spear, and she calls Jackie out, she wants to have a fair fight for some reason. She draws the spear, Jackie immediately breaks it. That's the first thing that happens in the battle. So she is devastated and disarmed. And Jackie proceeds to beat the living shit out of her. She is extremely hardy. She doesn't die under Jackie's numerous darkness-empowered blows. But she pretty much never gets in any blows of her own. Meanwhile, there is this ongoing story of a sex worker on the streets being harassed by a, street preacher who's trying to convert her to Christianity, make her stop turning tricks. His harassment does make it impossible for her to find any clients, so she just decides to take the bus home, but he follows her on the bus as well. And while they're on the bus, the battle between the Darkness and the Magdalena spills off of the rooftops and onto the streets, where they land on that very same bus, destroying it in the process. The combat rages on pretty much uninterrupted, but Agnes and Isaac, the sex worker and the preacher, they go to the hospital, where they find that they are miraculously pretty much unharmed. And Isaac reveals that it's because he found the head of the Spear of Destiny, and it's been a good luck charm for the 10 seconds that he's had it. But he wants it to help someone else, so he hides it in a bed at the hospital.
Pathetic creatures. Did you really think we'd let you get your hands on the Spear of Destiny?
So the remnants of the spear are at the hospital. Agnes agrees to stay at Isaac's place while she heals up a bit, because she's had a busy night. While she's there, Isaac reveals that he's insane and he murders her to purify her soul once and for all. That's their fucking bullshit story. Meanwhile, Jackie and the Magdalena have themselves a little moment. Magdalena finally admits that she's been beaten and escapes. But while she's escaping, 3 sisters from the Vatican show up to complete her training and teach her the trick to show people their sins. And at some point, Jackie just shows back up, I forget why. But she's healed back to full health, and she has these 3 other sisters there to back her up, so the battle resumes. And she pulls the trick on Jackie. Jackie just, he doesn't care about all of his sins. He's less self-aware than Hitler. I think we can agree that says a lot about how terrible the character is. So the trick has no effect on him. He proceeds to brutalize the Magdalena and the other 3 random sisters. And if you think Jackie's bad normally, he is just at his worst when he was fighting women. He uses all sorts of gendered insults and rape jokes. He's just awful. And he beats them all so bad that he ends up crucifying all 4 of them on a single crucifix. The Magdalena in the center, one on the back of the cross, and then one hanging off of each arm of the cross. And that is Jackie's victory over the Vatican. Good dude that he is. He also beats the Spear of Destiny, but it'll show back up. And that leaves us with this final phase of this fucking level,
Blood for blood.
where they just dump like 10 teleporting guys on you. They can teleport out into the main area that we haven't been to because it's completely covered in light. I think there's one out there right now. Yeah, they'll just teleport away from you and do nothing but screw around, waste your time. But this atrocious level is very nearly over. Just gotta get that one last teleporter. It should be fine. Then next time we will pick up with the hit list missions and see a better version of this level.
Enjoy this life while you can. Tomorrow, there will be only darkness.
Have fun while it lasts. Quickly, let's get to the docks and destroy the Spear of Destiny.